line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
The 0-2. Upstairs goes the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Coach Romero barking out his orders there to his players. He's been around the game for a long time. Nice shot to center field. That'll bring runners in. Just like that, La Cueva will bring 3 runners in to go up 3-0. Runner advances to third. Shot to center. That looks good. That's gone. Man, outstanding center shot there. As La Cueva will score. Antonio Lucero, second baseman, quite the hitter. Shot to third, and good catch. And she gets the out. Outstanding play by Trinity Bazan. Nice bright spot.
Costly errors allowed Cleveland to get 1 run back. That one sent on the ground to the left side. Throw to first in time. Throw home. Got her! Whoa, what a play!
Next door or something. Not sure, but they came out here, and Ellison cracks an RBI out to left field. That's where you got to do it. 1 run, 2 run, and this game could very well be over. It's a play at the plate. It's sliding, and that will do it. The Rams walk off the La Cueva Bears. It's a 3-run batted in shot by Dean Ellison.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers, they maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot.
Pitch. There's a line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
The 0-2. Upstairs goes the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Coach Romero barking out his orders there to his players. He's been around the game for a long time. Nice shot to center field. That'll bring runners in. Just like that, LaCueva will bring 3 runners in to go up 3-0. Runner advances to third. Shot to center. That looks good. That's gone. Man, outstanding center shot there. As LaCueva will score.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say, people mean more.
For 5 years running, it's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bob.
Well, listen to JJ talk about what was I don't know, maybe arguably, maybe not even arguably, the best night in sports history in our town. Holly beating Ronda Rousey, Lobos coming out of nowhere and beating Boise State, and then sitting on the morning of Conference Football Media Days, which kicks off football season, and then you get a former Premier League team, a Champions League team in town tonight to play United. It's kind of a big day. I mean, I think it's a big day. Good morning to you. We wake up with the sunshine, looking out at the Circa at the pool in D.C. When I show you the view, you're going to go, all right, I kind of get it. Yeah, it's 180,000 degrees or whatever. I think it's only 114. I think that's the number. But you'll say, yeah, no, I kind of get it. What's up? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta. JJ off this week, but kind of off because he is in Vegas, and we'll bring you a bunch of Mountain West Conference stuff. We are in Vegas as well. It's Mountain West Conference Media Day today and tomorrow for football season, as we're off and running, and it's only mid-July. Jeff Symbieta and DC. What's good? How you living?
Oh, I am living quite well. I did check out that hotel. It looks pretty sweet. I am a little jealous, despite the 114.
I mean, it's not 114 inside. Air conditioning works pretty well.
Just stay inside.
And I woke up and I'm like, wow, it's almost kind of chilly. Like, it is what it is. I wake up on what day is today? Wednesday? On a Wednesday morning. And I think I kind of told you how this was going to play out with San Diego State. And that's the news coming out of Mountain West. The new commissioner, and I guess she's still new, even though she's 7 months into her job, Gloria Nevares will speak this morning, 8:30 Pacific, 9:30 Mountain Time, and give her first address at Media Days. But the presidents of the Mountain West Conference did meet on Monday, as they were scheduled to, and kind of like I told you this whole thing would play out. San Diego State is staying in the Mountain West. Nothing's really going to change. You're going to notice nothing. There isn't really a fine or any sort of a fee for them to stay in the Mountain West, nor do I think there should have been. I think when all was said and done, they figured this wasn't going to be worth litigating. And San Diego State is just going to pay whatever legal fees there are, somewhere south of $100,000. I know the league was holding million. I think it was 6.6 million in assets. It was their share of the media rights. And this complicated relationship isn't over yet, but San Diego State stays in the Mountain West, just like I told you this was going to happen. Look, there was no scenario moving forward, none, where you could say, all right, well, the league's better without San Diego State. That just get rid of them. They don't want to be here. Will they go? Yeah, at some point, just like you would, like Colorado State would, like UNLV would, like whoever it is, when they're offered the opportunity to jump to the Pac-12 or whichever league it's going to be, that's going to give them more resources and put them in a quote-unquote power conference situation. Yeah, they're going to go. And I don't think anybody's sitting around thinking, oh, I begrudge them or whatever. Their president, Adela Della Torre, put them in a position when she wrote the letter that was interpreted by the Mountain West to be their resignation, their exit from the league. San Diego State says, no, it was our intent to tell you that we have an intent to leave the league or whatever it was. But the Mountain West presidents met on Monday, and kicking San Diego State out of the league never was an option, according to the majority of people that I've spoken to, and, well, everybody I've spoken to, and certainly the reports that are out there. San Diego State is expected to have to cover some legal fees, relatively modest when it comes down to it. I'm hearing in the area of $90-something thousand, which whatever it is, and they'll move forward, right? San Diego State initially asked for a month extension past the June 30th deadline in order to let the Pac-12's protracted television contract play out. And there's some reports that came out yesterday. Dennis Stott of CBS reported this. A number of other people, Yahoo did, that the Pac-12 is close to their media rights deal. Their media days will start Friday here in Las Vegas, although everything I hear is they're not expected to announce their new media rights deal. But San Diego State's not getting in, if they do, until then. So they'll remain in the Mountain West at least probably for the next couple of years. The fee to withdraw before then is close to $34 million. So what changed? Nothing. Just like I told you, this played out. I'm not right that often, but this played out kind of how I told you it would and how you expected it would. There was a lot of noise. There was a lot of chest pounding. There was a lot of talk, I guess. But when it's all said and done, your league this year will look like your league did last year and the year before. San Diego State will be part of it. The preseason conference polls come out here in the next few hours, and your all conference teams, your whatever that means to you, and I promise you, I know how this is going to go. The Boise State will be number one because I've been doing this for. The league is 25 years old now. I believe I've been doing this for at least that long. I don't know that I've ever been to a conference media day when Boise State was in this league, where Boise State was not the preseason favorite. They don't win it every year, by the way. And they'll tell you, oh, well, preseason rankings mean nothing, that we got to go out and do it. And then there'll be teams at the bottom, and it might be your team. It might be New Mexico, and odds are it will be New Mexico picked at the bottom. And Danny will tell you exactly what Rocky told you all these years. Well, doesn't mean anything. So we're here, and we're going to listen to a bunch of people tell you, wow, doesn't mean anything. None of it means a damn thing until we get out and play. So that's where we are. Let me open up phones for you and tell you what we're going to do today. 505-246-0610. That is the Sports Animal phone line. That is also the Sports Animal text line. And you can hit me at 505-246-0610. The email machine is open as well. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. You can hit JJ if you want. He'll be back on Monday, although he's off, but he's working, which I give him a whole lot of credit for, I think. But you can hit him at JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Adrian's producing on the visual medium. You can find us on Comcast Channel 26, on our Facebook page, the OD in the AM, and on the YouTube channel for ProView Network. Guest list today, coming up at 8:30 this morning. John Sullivan's going to be with us. Sully is a former UNM All-America, one of, I believe it to be only 3 consensus All-America in the history of UNM football. Brian Urlacher is one of them. Terrence Mathis, who's going into the College Football Hall of Fame coming up this fall, is one of them. And Sully is one of them. Back in 2007, the year that the Lobos beat Colin Kaepernick and Nevada in the New Mexico Bowl 23-0, shut him out. Sully missed his first kick of the year at UTEP, and he missed his last kick of the year in the bowl game, and did not miss a kick throughout the whole entirety in between that, and became a first-team All-America, a guy that came out of nowhere. You'll hear Danny Gonzalez tell you the story about Sully coming up later. Danny's going to be with us. DC, what time are we doing that? We're going to do that about 8:15. 9:15?
9:15.
All right. How you living, by the way? What's going on with you?
You know, I got the squirrels out of my pool cover, so things have calmed down at home. We can hop back in and cool off because it's
wait. You had squirrels in your pool cover?
Yeah, they about 2 days ago, I looked down and I realized they had started to make a nest, and it was very quick. So I've been battling like Caddyshack for like 2 days, and finally I won. It's a good time. Good time.
What's the strategy there?
Oh, this is fun.
No, I'm curious.
So we put a radio out there with talk radio 24 hours. Apparently that'll
get them the hell out. Yeah. Have to listen to sports talk radio or something?
They were listening to KKOB.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yep.
So, no, that's fair.
And then
were they blue squirrels or red squirrels? I'm not killing. Never mind. I shouldn't have asked you that.
Nice. Yeah. So and then we used some vinegar, and you just put a bag down there and.
A bag of vinegar.
Yeah, it's very, very strange, but my wife found it online and it worked. So I'm just happy I don't have to do with that anymore. Because when we opened it up, there was so much dirt and leaves and pine needles and everything in the pool.
No kidding.
I spent like 4 hours cleaning it. It was ridiculous.
How many squirrels do you I can't tell you the last time I've seen a squirrel in Albuquerque.
There was like 6 of them. But the problem is, in my backyard, there used to be a golf course. So
okay, that's right. That's right.
All these displaced animals that are just trying to figure out where to go next.
They got to go somewhere, huh? All right. Well, I'm glad you got your pool going. Yeah. No, that's good. All right, we got a lot to do. So we're gonna get into the Major League Baseball stuff. I've got news for you on the Enchantment, which opens up TBT today, the basketball tournament. The it's kind of a Lobo and Aggie and New Mexico alumni team that's going to be playing a team of University of Texas alumni today. TBT starts, I believe it's 4 o'clock this afternoon. I'll get you the exact time on that. But got you a little news on that. They're going to be in Lubbock. You got United today against Sunderland AFC. So you've got a Champions League team from the UK in Isotopes Park today. We're going to get into that and what that means to you. But when we come back, DC, we've talked a lot about running backs and the problem that exists in regards to salaries, and you've heard a lot about Josh Jacobs, and you've heard a lot about Saquon and even Tony Pollard. When we come back, is there really a problem? Because I think there are a lot of people who say that there is no problem, except for if one group of people. That's next. Opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at U.S. Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with U.S. Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with U.S. Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Hours you came in?
Sounds about right. So
Right,
in my mind, it's like 69, but it's
that's is that the number? All right, wherever you, whatever it is in your mind. I think it gets down to about 85 in Vegas as we're going through mid-July. It's opening drive 505-246-0610 if you want to get in today. In 888-922-0610 if for whatever reason you're still paying a toll. We'll pick up the toll for you. Coming up at 8:30 this morning, John Sullivan's going to be with us. He is the Associate Commissioner of the Mountain West Conference, former Lobo All-America. I guess I kind of built him up and didn't really tell you what he was. He's the guy in charge of football for the Mountain West. He oversees football for the Mountain West, and that former Lobo is going to be with us at 8:30, and we're going to catch up with him just kind of about his position. He left the league. He's been with the league for a long time. Left to become the deputy commissioner, the number 2 guy in charge of the Southland Conference, and then came back to the Mountain West earlier this year to take over a role that Jamie Hickson had when he went to the American and is in charge of football. So we could just catch up with him. Sully's just one of the good people, just one of the good guys, and a guy that's on the wall at the UNM football complex as an All-America. All right, so I'm going to ask you this question. And DC, I want you in on this. So I've been listening, and we spent a lot of time over the last couple of days talking about running backs and the situation in the National Football League with running backs. And the deadline came and went on Monday. It was 2 o'clock Mountain Time. The deadline for franchise tag players who had been tagged by their team as the franchise player, to come to a long-term deal. And if not, they can't negotiate a deal until the end of the season. They've got to play under the tag. And for running backs, they put that as a top 5 average of running backs and whatever. There's a formula. And for running backs, the number is about $10.1 million, $10.091 million. So somehow Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley and Tony Pollard, for that matter, are going to have to get by on $10.1 million this year. Or in the case of 2 of them who have not yet signed it, they have the option to sit out, right? So Tony Pollard of the Cowboys signed the franchise tag, and he will play under that, which Tony Pollard was a backup for his whole career. Now that they got rid of Ezekiel Elliott in Dallas, he's the number 1 back. But Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs, and Jacobs led the league in rushing, led the league in all-purpose yards. They've not yet signed their deal. And so we've spent a ton of time, and not just here, DC, but everywhere I hear people telling me, well, there's a problem. There's a problem. Running backs are devalued. The running back position is devalued. The only position to make less money on an average than running backs is kickers and punters, and they're okay. And we've talked about it. And I started thinking about it yesterday. I was listening to everybody yell about it. Is it really a problem?
No, it really isn't.
I mean, for whom is it a problem? For one very small group of people, it is a problem, correct?
Correct. Yeah,
that would be running backs.
Exactly. Right? Did you hear about this text chain going around with the high-end running backs?
I'm not sure I have.
Yeah, so in the NFL, like, they're kind of banding together, and they're trying to, I don't know exactly what the play is, but basically all the running backs are kind of looking out for each other and trying to reverse this course of action, but sorry, guys. It's not gonna happen.
What are they saying? What's the text chain saying?
Basically that they're worth more than guys are getting paid, and you know they're happy that these guys are holding out because it helps people in the future, and you know they're all supportive in nature, but you know to me it just sounds like a bunch of yelling.
Which is what it is. Because the only people, and look, I'm sympathetic to them in a very small way, where market value is whatever market value is, right? The market's going to dictate this. If the market tells you that a linebacker, a pass rusher, a left tackle, a quarterback, a wide receiver is worth more because...
All right. So,
yeah.
You cut out there, sorry.
Oh, sorry. So you got me back?
We do, yep.
All right. So if the formula is what it is, right, market's going to dictate it. The formula tells you that the NFL is draft a running back, put him on a rookie contract, extend him for a 5th year if he's really good, franchise him for another running back. And it sucks for running backs. But again, I'm going to sit here and ask you the question, is it really a problem? It's a problem for running backs, a very small group of people. And so, to your point, they've got a text chain going on. They've got this whole thing going on. They're supporting each other. They're worth more than whatever, and that's wonderful. And I'll agree with them to an extent. Running backs are an integral part of whatever you're doing in the National Football League. But running backs are also probably the most, I don't know, is it wrong to say they're the most replaceable piece on an offense?
No.
Let alone on a football team next to a kicker? I mean, I think you can replace a kicker. Teams do it on a weekly basis, right? If you were to say, give me a position on a field, find one. Go right tackle, go inside linebacker, cornerback, wide receiver, maybe wide receiver. I need a guy. My guy went down. I got a guy. I need to find someone to fill a hole for next week. And it's, what day is today? Wednesday? I need a guy. What position on the field do you feel you could replace the quickest with the highest quality player?
Well, like you said, running back and wide receiver. Because those...
Probably is, right?
Those positions really do not change that much. A route is a route, whether you're in college, high school, pro. Like, an out route's an out route. Same thing with running back.
I got to teach the guy. Yeah, I got to teach him some plays. I got to make sure he knows a blocking scheme. He knows my calls. He's got to be able to pick up a blitz when I need it. But I think it's more replaceable, certainly, than a edge rusher. Certainly more replaceable than a guy who's going to go on the corner and defend someone. You know, we were sitting with Dante Martin. Was that yesterday? We had Lobo Dante Martin was with us.
Yes.
I think that when we talked to him about, I think corner is the hardest position outside of quarterback to play, just skill wise, right? Because you're one-on-one on an island. So I was listening to all the noise yesterday. I was listening to everybody tell me how we've got such a huge problem and this needs to be addressed and they've got to figure this out. I'm like, do they? It seems to me like they, whoever the hell they are, have it figured out. They run the league. They're the owners. They're the general managers. They're the coaches. They're the guys who run the league. They have it figured out. They've got a formula where they're going to draft a running back. They're going to beat the hell out of him until he's 25, maybe 26 or 27. If he's really, really good, they'll drag him around till he's 31. And then he's done. So while I can commiserate, while I feel for the running backs who are there that are going to only have to get by the way, when we say that they got to get by at $10 million, these are the guys at the high end. They see the average running back salary is a little over $2 million, which, by the way, for you, for me, like we're sign me up, right? But for a professional player with a small window, or average, I think the average shelf life of a football player, let alone a running back, but a player in the NFL is like 3.3 seasons. So there's a small shelf life. I get all of that. But I think the first step to solving a problem is realizing you have a problem, right? Saying, okay, I've got to solve something. DC, they're not solving anything because they don't think that the people who are going to solve this, the people who are running this league, the people who are in charge, they don't think they got to solve a problem. What the hell do they got to solve? They got nothing to solve. They've got it figured out.
Exactly. And when you look at it, you know how to fix it, guys. Learn how to catch. Look at the top paid guys. They are able to go into a slot position and change up the offense. McCaffrey, like, you never know what he's going to do. That's why he gets paid the way he does.
That's right. Was he at $16 million?
Yes.
All right.
Kamara, 13, he catches the ball.
Henry, and to your point, I'm a cap. What's Henry at, 13?
He's there, but and he's a rush first. He doesn't really catch the ball, but if you want to change the position, learn how to catch. That's all I'd say.
Well, that was a Marshall Faulk, right? That's why Marshall Faulk was so different, so special, so good. But I hear you, I feel for you, I understand your plight, but the bottom line is they don't care. They don't think the people who can change it, with all the noise that's been made over the last 3 weeks, but let alone 3 days. There's not a problem. There's a problem for a very small, select group of people. And I'll go back to the premise. The first step to solving a problem is realizing you've got a problem to solve, and the NFL's going, we don't have a problem. Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs, and I haven't heard a word out of Tony Pollard. I think Tony Pollard's thrilled to be getting his $10.1 million. Tony Pollard's going, damn, who the hell was I a year ago, let alone 2 years ago? I'm thrilled to be making 10.1. The fact that they even franchised me coming off a huge injury, right?
Yeah, he
but
made
Derrick
$4
Henry
million.
next year.
He made $4 million total prior to this year. So 10.1.
So he made $4 million in his career total to this?
Yeah. His first year, he made $675,000.
Right, so you're giving him $10.1 million. That's why you haven't heard a word out of Tony Pollard. That's why he signed the franchise tag. He's like, this is beautiful. But those guys, Saquon, Derrick Henry's next. Like next year, did you see the free agent or the guys who are eligible for free agency next year running back? It's Jonathan Taylor and it's Derrick Henry. And you got a lot of guys who are coming up. And this will be a topic of conversation. I think DeAndre Swift is on that list. Austin Eckler's on that list. Like you. This will be another conversation. We're going to do this again 11 months from now. But I'll ask you the question again, and then I'll answer it for you. Do we really have a problem? The answer is no, we don't. Nobody does except for that select group of people. And so it's not, you're not going to solve anything because in the minds of the people who would solve a problem, I got bigger. I got no problem here to solve. I got a way bigger issues to solve than worrying about what the running back salary is in comparison to kickers. All right, we'll talk more NFL because camps are opening and Hard Knocks cabbers are with the Jets. They're so fired up about it too. I mean, they are so pumped to have Hard Knocks there. What's Patrick Mahomes have to say? They're looking to repeat. Only 8 franchises, only 8 teams, only eight franchises have gone back-to-back in the Super Bowl era. How do the Chiefs do it? That is next. It is the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report brought to you by Sandia Area Federal Credit Union.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right.
OD AM on a, I believe it to be, I just looked out the window. It looks like a beautiful Wednesday morning. Jeff, JJ's off until Monday, although he's here working, and I finally got him checked in last night, DC. I went over and I'm like, hey, all right, so can I get my son checked in here? He's like, what are we doing here? But JJ finally is checked in. He's at Media Day. It's the opening drive at Mountain West Conference Media Day in Vegas. 505-246-0610. We're going to get to the phones here in a moment. John Sullivan at 8:30. We may go out to Sugarland, 9 o'clock. Josh Sushan is going to be with us, DC. Do a little crosstalk as the Isotopes play Sugarland. Isotopes are rolling, by the way. Second half of the season, they got a reset, and life's been grooving. So 8 NFL franchises have won back-to-back Super Bowl championships. Last time it happened was 03-04, and it was the Patriots. So who's on the clock now? And it would be the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes says the Chiefs, they're focused on ending that streak. Quote, everybody's motivated by that. You should be motivated to do it again. When you have that parade, when you go through the offseason that I've been through, you want to do it again. You only get these opportunities by winning the Super Bowl. And for us, we want to make sure that we can build up and try to win that Super Bowl again, because the moment, that feeling is something that you just wanted to grab every single time. All right. First of all, after the off season I've been through. God bless him. What playing in celebrity golf tournaments and taking the trophy around and being praised everywhere you go. Help me understand the off season I've been through.
I think he's talking about his brother. His brother got into some trouble.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, it's got to be that.
Oh, okay. All right. I would tell you that they've got as good a chance as anybody in the last decade and a half to repeat as Super Bowl champs. They're that good. However, look around the AFC. Cincinnati's really good. And Buffalo is really good. And you all keep wanting to tell me how good the Jets are, and we'll see. Cleveland could be good. Everybody wants to tell me how good the Chargers are, and all I keep telling you is they're still the damn Chargers, right? They're still the Chargers. Tell me I'm wrong. Am I?
No, you're not.
I mean, the Chargers, to me, have Clippers disease. They should, first of all, still be in San Diego, where they belong. And horrible ownership, and I think bad coaching. They are what they are. All right, let's go. 505-246-0610. You want to go? Edward, you're up on The Sports Animal. Hello, Edward.
It's a beautiful day indeed. It's a beautiful day indeed, my friends. Mom turns 80 today, so just want to give
Happy
a little
birthday.
shout out
That's
to her.
a big deal.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Yeah.
Thanks for giving me life.
I know she's listening.
Hey, regarding the Chiefs, I think the most critical thing that needs to happen is all 5 offensive linemen for the Cincinnati Bengals need to get hurt again before the AFC title game. Think about that, guys. All 5 offensive starting linemen last year for the Bengals were out that game, and they lost a 3-point game in overtime where Mahomes essentially couldn't move the ball in the fourth quarter, but they got a punt return and a big penalty would set up the winning field goal. But Mahomes is amazing. He's already jumped a bunch of all-time greats. But that's how fickle the NFL is. And there's no guarantees, like you said, Jeff. Regarding the running back situation, Colin Cowherd says this perfectly. It's about leverage. And the running back position has completely lost all leverage in the NFL. It's the most interchangeable part. I saw the New England Patriots for 20 years, the greatest run in the history of the league. Basically interchange running backs all the time. They would put receivers at running back. They would pick up Bobcats from the Steelers and other teams and put them at running back and win the Super Bowl. They're not, this isn't the Dallas Cowboys where you overpay Ezekiel Elliott, which is the worst contract probably the last 15 years in the NFL. I think that GMs are now wise. And
next to Russell Wilson's, by the way. Next to
relationship, in business, in sports, is it moving towards you or away from you? And obviously, this is moving away from NFL running backs, and you have to have awareness and you have to evolve. So, like DC says, learn to catch the ball, because the business is moving away from you, and it's pretty succinct, quite honestly. Hey, regarding college football, I was in Austin this weekend, and there was a bunch of LSU guys, and I'll share this on another call, but they had some very interesting things to say, and there was some Nebraska fans there as well. And they shared something with me which I didn't even think about, which kind of augments my initial thoughts about what's going to happen in college football, but I'll share it with you guys, on another call. But it was very interesting, and I think exactly what's going to happen. On my flight back, that soccer team from England, all I saw was a bunch of 6'2" guys that were athletic as heck. So I started talking to kind of one of the team managers, and he was explaining to me, and I said, hey, well, what kind of money? I get into the financials. What kind of money are these guys making? And he goes, there's a lot of 22-year-old millionaires on this plane right now.
God
and
bless
what he
them.
essentially told me was, this is a team that the United are playing, by the way, tonight. He said that the biggest money maker for a team like that is they develop talent and they sell those players to the Premier League for upwards of $60 million. So I took a step back and I said, so it's kind of like raising racehorses and selling them for tons. And he goes, that's a great comparison. That's a great comparison.
That's so good.
So he goes, some of these guys will get sold to the Premier League for upwards of $50 to $60 million. And that's not their contract. That's just what the team makes to sell that.
No, that's
talent.
that's
So
the right.
anyway,
Yeah, that's the right. That's what teams will
Jeff,
pay.
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that's the rights fee that they'll pay to give them millions of dollars. The teams will pay $50, $60 million for their rights to give them $50, $60 million.
Precisely. So, anyway, Albuquerque people, if you get a chance, go watch these guys, because just watching them at the airport, you could tell how athletic they were, and I think it's going to be a great event for New Mexico.
Yeah,
But I was
good.
mesmerized
All right,
by
man.
both the financials and everything else that was going on. I appreciate you letting me taking my call,
Yep.
and have a nice day.
Appreciate you. Really interesting thoughts of the running back, right? The market's either going against you or with you, and it's going against them. And it is like you could tell me running backs are underpaid all you want, and you might even be right, but it's not a problem. It's not a problem for anybody except for that group of people, and that's why it's not going to get solved. John Sullivan's going to be with us. He's the deputy. What is he? The associate commissioner for the Mountain West Conference in charge of football. He's also former UNM All-America. As we get started with football season, I mean, we're in it now. Media days today. We are off and running, and we're going to talk with Sully coming up at 8:30, 9 o'clock. Josh Sushan's going to be with us, the voice of the Isotopes. He'll join us from Sugar Land, and it's a day game. What time they hit the air today? 9:40, DC? What time?
9:45, and first pitch at 10:05.
All right, so we'll talk to Josh at your first place Isotopes coming up. That'll be at 9 o'clock this morning. Hey, you got an alarm at your home. You got an alarm at your business. You installed security cameras. It's not enough. Not in Albuquerque. Aaron Jones started at IPS, International Protective Service, back in 2006, protecting homes up in Four Hills. And now, all these years later, hundreds of homeowners, business owners all around the Burque and Santa Fe and all around the state trust IPS to protect what they've worked so hard to build. They protect my home. IPS goes by my house every single day. When my alarm has gone off, they're there within 5 to 7 minutes with armed, trained security officers. Don't wait to be a victim of vandalism and theft. IPS offers standing guards, 24-hour patrols. They'll protect your business. They'll protect your home. They respond quickly to alarms. They prevent loss and damage to your property. It's private security that you can afford, private security that can save you money. Give them a call at 505-897-2420, 505-897-2420, or you can go online at ipsglobal.com. IPS, making Albuquerque a better and a safer place to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
Now, you're coming in this morning on the text line at 505-246-0610 on the Sports Animal text line, the Sports Animal phone line for you to get involved, 505-246-0610. You're also coming in on the email device. You can find me there, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. JJ will hit you on Monday. It's kind of just, I don't know, DC, it's habit. JJ's here. He's off. Although, who's this? Is it Carl? Oh, no, it's Dan says, why is Juan Jose burning vacation days, Jeffrey and Derek Charles? If you can be in Vegas and claim to be working, I'm not using precious vacation for that. I mean, claim to be working. DC, like I'm working. Am I not working? I'm up at, it's 6 a.m. here, right?
Yeah, you're going to be interviewing all
this
day.
is work.
You're going to be bringing home content. It's definitely working.
Yeah, I mean, I consider it work. JJ, I mean, if anybody knows JJ, like, you can tell me whatever you want about that young man. Dude works. That dude works. Carl says, what do you think, Jeffy, about United breezing mid-season? So you just heard Edward allude to it for a little bit. So you've got Sunderland AFC in town tonight at Isotopes Park. It is a British team. It is a Champions League team from the UK who is in to play United. It is a exhibition game tonight out at Isotopes Park. So what is it? They were relegated for the Premier League in 2007. They've got evidently high expectations. So they're essentially a second-tier team, not a Champions League team over there, but kind of like, and pardon me, and I'm not going to sit here and claim to be soccer expert guy, but there's Major League Soccer here, and then there's USL, right? And there's the Premier League, and then there's Champions League over there, and that's kind of what they are. So they've been around for decades. There's some tradition to them. They've got 6 top flight titles, a pair of FA Cup victories, and they are going into the preseason portion of their campaign. So this is preseason for them, and it's a 3-game exhibition tour for them in the United States that'll stop in San Antonio, and then in North Carolina as well as Albuquerque. And so who are they? Edward's telling you they're bunch of dudes that he said, and I haven't seen them. I wasn't on the plane with them as he was, but a bunch of big dudes, athletes, 6'2", and they'll have some players. They'll be good. Some of them will stay with that club. Some of them will be really impressive. But you've got an opportunity tonight to go out to Isotopes Park and watch United against a team from the UK with some tradition and some name to them. I know there's a lot of people, British people in Albuquerque, excited about this. This was a big deal when you heard about the name that was coming in, the club that was coming in. And it's a big night for them to show off tonight and celebrate. It doesn't count in this. I almost said standings, DC. It doesn't count in the table. It doesn't count as far as USL points. It's not a USL match. They've been off for a week and a half from that, but it is a mid-season, and it's hard for people to grasp in-season tournaments, right? If you grew up with American sports, you get in season and that's it. You don't play tournaments within your season. Soccer is different. I think you're learning that. You have the U.S. Open Cup. You have whatever it is you've got, and then you've got these exhibitions. And I think people who didn't grow up with this, right, are having a hard time grasping what it is. You're going to get a little of it with the NBA next year with that in-season tournament that David Silver is trying to make fashion after soccer. I'm sorry, Adam Silver.
The ears. And NHL actually just came out and said they are not going to do the mid-season tournament.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that. I think it's look, it works because it's something that's been going on forever. And I'm not telling you the way to do it is the way it's always been done. I'm not that guy, you know that. But I think it's going to be hard for the NBA to push over on the American sports consumer that some mid-season tournament, it's not even mid-season, the NBA, that's going to be an early season, a December tournament that highlights with a final in Vegas December 9th is something that I'm supposed to get excited about in the midst of the NFL stretch run, in the midst of college football playoff and bowl season and everything else, because that's the way they do it in Europe for soccer. We'll see. But I think it's going to be a really hard sell to the American sports consumer that somehow I'm supposed to get excited. Meanwhile, you even listed it 1900. Adrian, put that back up if you would. Thank you. On the visual side, it's New Mexico United versus Sunderland. It's a friendly, and it's 2 a.m. British time, but it's not 7 o'clock at night. It's 1900 Mountain Standard Time. Is that how it's how it's supposed to be? It's not 7 o'clock tonight. It's 1900 Mountain Standard Time out at Isotopes Park. All right. That's Rio Grande Credit Union Field at Isotopes Park to you, for crying out loud. All right, if you're going out, I'm curious. If this is your thing, man, eat it up. If this is one of those things that you circled on your calendar when you saw this come down and you're fired up about it, eat it up, man, because this is going to be fun for you. And go. I'm interested in where you are. If you're on that list and that's where you're headed tonight, go and let me know because I want to know. John Sullivan's going to be with us. We're going to talk Mountain West football coming up at 8:30 this morning. Sully, of course, the Associate Commissioner of the Mountain West in charge of football, former Lobo All-America, and it's just going to be good to catch up with Sully. Josh Sushan's going to be with us at 9. Lobos. Isotopes are in Sugarland, day game. They're going to take over the airways at 9:45 today for day baseball. So that's what we got going for you. When we come back, Major League Baseball record, 12 teams scored 10-plus runs on the same night. Go ahead. Tell me there's some global phenomenon. Sometimes stuff just happens, too. That happened last night. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
What up, Wednesday? How you living? ODAM. Football season is upon you. Baseball season is going nuts. You got a soccer-friendly... So it's a soccer-friendly on the pitch at 1900. Just want to make sure I understand it, right? It's a friendly on the pitch tonight at 1900. Sunderland AFC is in town. Go have fun with that. I think it'll be a really, really good night up there. Jeff Symbieta, DC. No JJ this week, although JJ's here in Vegas with me. Well, not with me, but he's here in Vegas also. And Mountain West, the commissioner of the Mountain West, Gloria Nevadas, will speak today here at about... I think 9:30 Mountain Time. I'm trying to keep all your time straight. Welcome to join us today, 505-246-0610. That is the Sports Animal phone line. It is also the Sports Animal text line. I'm open for you on the email machine, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com and JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. If you want to hit him, maybe he'll get back to you next week. All right, so you kind of watched something baseball yesterday. Is it bonkers to you? I don't know. Is it climate change? Is it what the hell happened last night? A modern era record last night in Major League Baseball. 12 teams scored double-digit runs Tuesday. It's one of the highest-scoring days in the history of Major League Baseball. What does it mean? It doesn't mean a damn thing, dude. It means balls are flying. But obscure history, right? It's weird, it's different, but and I love that. So the modern era, and the modern era is described since 1900, which seems so modern to me. 12 teams 10 runs or more, including 4 games in which both teams scored double digits. So am I going to start hearing the balls juiced now? I mean, tell me where. Can we just have a weird anomaly day and just say, wow, what a weird day, and I don't have to attribute it to anything. I don't have a problem to solve. We can, right? Is that okay? Is that something I can? I mean, I don't have a big problem here, do I?
No, not really. But it is funny. People are already on Twitter saying the balls are juiced. It didn't take very long at all.
Because of one day? Of one day.
One day. That's all
Stop
it takes,
it.
apparently.
All right. So the previous modern era record was 9 teams scoring double digits. That was back in 1998 and in 2004. Okay. 13 teams scored 10 plus back in 1894, and I mean we're going back into the 1800s, so whatever. So prior to yesterday, the only other days with 4 games in which both teams scored 10 runs plus were July 4th and July 9th in 1894. Dude, when we're going back to 1894 and baseball cards came in cigar boxes and they were the size of, business cards and and I love how the modern era. Look, the Padres almost made it 13 teams, by the way. They settled for a 9-1 win over the Blue Jays, 9-1. But I got the Royals beat the Tigers 11-10. Diamondbacks 16-13 over the Braves. Mets beat the White Sox 11-10. Giants beat the Reds 11-10. So you had 4 games where both teams scored. Can't we just say, wow, what a weird day? Now, if it happens again today and it happens again tomorrow, we can have a conversation about the ball being juiced or pitchers, a deluge of bad pitching and whatever. But sometimes bleep just happens. The Diamondbacks-Braves game was insane. They combined for 12 runs in the first inning and a half. There were 7 lead changes in 9 innings. Top 4 hitters in Diamondbacks lineup. Oh, by the way, they're pretty good. They went a combined 10 for 21 with 3 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs and 12 RBI. Like, offense has been up this year anyway. And this is what you wanted. Like, stop it with the Twitter. Everything you tell me, I want quicker games, I want more runs, I want more. Okay. You got quicker games. You got a boatload of runs. And so teams are averaging 4.58 runs per game. Let me give you a little perspective. What does that mean? It's the highest rate in a 162-game season since 2019. And that's what you wanted. Now, look, this isn't a pattern. There's no reason to think that yesterday was anything more than, wow, that was kind of a weird day. It was an anomaly. Sometimes stuff happens. And in baseball, stuff happens. You get a bunch of slugfests on the same night. But the combined highest scoring day in Major League history, by the way, is 222 runs. I don't know who keeps these stats. Like, Elias is some crazy dude. Whoever this guy is. Last night was 220 runs. So whatever. I almost called you JJ because, well, JJ's always sitting across from me. But DC, I'm going to tell you, I just think last night, weird, crazy night. It was hot as bleep everywhere. And the ball was flying out of the park, and pitchers were sweating, and it was a bad day for pitchers. I watched. I was on a plane, and I watched Orioles Dodgers. What ended up being the score of that game? It was like the Dodgers got 10, so it was 10-3. I watched errors on ground, basic, easy, tailor-made double play balls. Like sometimes, man, it just happens. Can you turn off the Twitter machine for a day and stop telling me I got a problem because I don't have a problem?
Yeah, I mean, that Twitter goes crazy and it's quick to react. We do have a caller that wants to talk about this. Dan's online if you want to take that.
Yeah, I do. And I'm sorry I missed on that. Dan, good morning to you. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Dan.
Hey, fellas, how you doing? Hey, last night I caught the Mets and the Chicago White Sox, and Giolito was pitching for Chicago. He pitched, I think, 3 2/3 inning, and they took him out. What it boils down to is there was crap pitching all around the league last night. That's all it comes down to. I mean, I don't know why they scored. Right. They scored a lot of runs. Why? Your pitching stunk. The Mets came in. That guy Carrasco started. He was up 6-2, And the relief came in and gave up runs. The same thing with Chicago, and the Mets barely hung on. The Chicago had runners on second and third in the bottom, the top of the ninth, and the last batter flight out to Nimmo to end the game. They won 11-10, and it was just a bad night. I think it was just bad pitching and stuff. And I don't mean to go off the topic, but last week, guys, you were talking about who's a better quarterback, Tony Romo or Dak Prescott in Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
And my thing is, it's like, who's handsomer, Steve Buscemi or Marty Feldman? So there you go with that. That's all I got, guys. Have a good day, man. I'll talk to you later.
See you, Dan. Great. That's good stuff. Look, it just happened. By the way, what's the answer to that? Who's handsomer? What is the right answer?
Probably Steve Buscemi.
All right. I mean, I'm like, either way, I'm good. Sometimes it just happens, man. Sometimes there's like, what did he tell me? Pitching was garbage.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I
you just
love
have a
when he calls.
night, man.
He just gets right to it. It was garbage pitching, and that happens sometimes.
100%. And I haven't looked at every box score in the league, but I looked around box scores a little bit last night, and look how many errors there were. Look, just sometimes you have a night. I don't even know, was it a full moon last night? I have no idea. Not sure I saw the sky last night, but sometimes there's just an anomaly, and it goes that way. Not really. I'm looking error-wise. Oh, Phillies had 3 errors last night. The Orioles committed 4 errors last night. 4, dude. I mean, in a Major League Baseball game, and I was watching the unearned runs. How do you get, what did I tell you, 12 teams scored double digits last night? How do you get there? I don't know. You commit 4 errors. You commit 3 if you're the Atlanta Braves, and the Diamondbacks scored 16. Yeah, but otherwise, it wasn't crazy. The Red Sox committed 3. They lost 3-0. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. It was bad pitching last night. That's what it was. If we sit, and we'll talk to Josh Sushan about this coming up at 9 o'clock. It's Ice Storm State Baseball today. But if you want to look around the league, scoring's up. It's everything you've asked for in baseball, by the way. It's everything you wanted. You wanted games to be quicker. You wanted more score. Everything you wanted, you're getting. And so last night you got it, and it was a little bit exaggerated. That's what it is. I'm down with that. All right, I got Open Championship is coming up. We're going to get into that. Tiger's girlfriend is making news this morning. You know, the ex-girlfriend that had the $30 million lawsuit? There's a little bit going on there as well. And the Jets said, yeah, that's fine. We'll do this, but what? Because I know you're going to be watching. That's next as NFL Camps Open on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is paid for by National Highway Traffic Safety.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You will watch it on Tuesday, August 8th, 8 o'clock our time. Hard Knocks. I can't decide if it's, and you'll figure this out. Is it you got to watch it or you just got to not? Will it be kind of the best Hard Knocks or will it be kind of the worst Hard Knocks ever? The Jets, flat out, by every report, are irate, cranky, angry, pissed, pick your word, about being on Hard Knocks. And I could see this, right? You could see your guy, Aaron Rodgers, just saying, I don't want it. I don't want them. I don't want this. I want nothing about everything about it you can see. Opening drive, Jeff and DC. You can get in today at 505-246-0610. Glad you're with us this morning on The Sports Animal. We're in Vegas. Mountain West Conference football media today, or media day starts today. Players today, DC. This is how this works. So you get the commissioner at 9:30 Mountain Time. It'll be Gloria Navarez's first media day address as commissioner of this conference. She, of course, was the commissioner of the West Coast Conference previously, but not a football league. So it'll be her first, and there's a lot of news to go over in a very, very interesting time. And then the players today and the coaches tomorrow. So I want to run you through the Hard Knocks thing because the Jets have made it clear that it was, quote, forced down our throats. Hard Knocks is a partnership between NFL Films, HBO, and the National Football League. Do we have an argument that Hard Knocks has been good for just about every team who has been the focus of Hard Knocks? Can you give me a situation over the years? And I look back on it. I mean, can you give me one where it's like, wow, that was really bad for that team?
Not offhand, really, because there are a lot of benefits. I kind of look at the Colts mid-season, and I wonder if that was a distraction. But, for the most part, that exposure is pretty good.
Yeah, the mid-season, the in-season one is different, I think, than the camp. So Adam Schefter, who is basically never wrong on ESPN, he talked about this a lot, and he talked about how the reason the league waited until last week, basically the last minute, to announce that the Jets were going to be the focus of Hard Knocks, was because the Jets fought it tooth and nail, and there was no other option. The league basically said, you're going to do this, right? There were 4 teams the NFL could force the show on. It was the Jets, the Commanders, the Saints, or the Browns, because they've got a set of guidelines. You couldn't have been a playoff team last year, and you can't have a first-year head coach, and there's a number of guidelines. And so it basically came down to those 4 teams. And the Jets fought it the whole way. They met with NFL Films. They said, we don't want to do this. They flat out, we're not doing this. And the NFL said, yeah, you are. And so there will not be the access that you've seen in the past. And I don't know if that's going to make it better or worse. I don't know what NFL Films is going to do about this, how they're going to play this out, how miserable the Jets are going to make it for them. Now, one of the things that you see all the time on Hard Knocks, and it kind of became a staple, is at the end of it when guys get called into the head coach's office and they get cut. And you're sitting there, and it's always, I don't, how do you feel about this? Because I've always felt it's uncomfortable, but yet it has been, I don't know, entertaining is the right word, interesting, informative, I just being in on that process. But it's always been uncomfortable to me.
Cut day? Yeah. But that is the drama. I mean, you're building up these characters that in reality probably are not making the team, and fans love it, so they pick their guy and they're hoping for the best. And yeah, it's kind of the sad episode where the guy that stood out made the one bad play and now he's on the street.
But there's been plenty of converse stories to that, right? There's been plenty of guys that you follow through training camp that became the star of Hard Knocks, the long shot guy that made the team too, that you got to see celebrate with his wife, his kid, his girlfriend, his whoever the hell it was, right? I mean, there's been plenty of the other side of that story too. The Jets say it is not humane to show players being released, so they will not provide that access. I don't know, man. I mean, not humane. I can see how I'm a guy who probably isn't getting another shot, right? There's plenty of guys who go to camp as free agents who, late round picks. This is it, man. This is their shot. They may never get a shot at the NFL again. And they went through camp and you documented them, and all of a sudden now you're showing one of my hardest moments. You're showing one of my most raw moments of my life. And I got cameras in there. Like I kind of get that. But it's what you want to see, right? It's why you watch that last Hard Knocks, isn't it?
Yeah, that's so interesting to me that they would say it's inhumane. I mean, you guys almost had a guy die on the field last year. This is pretty minimal compared.
Right. No, that's actually a really good perspective on that. Schefter said that the Jets are just going to do the bare minimum, that they're not interested in being partners with NFL Films. They're not going to provide cooperation with NFL Films. And tell me, no matter what you think of Aaron Rodgers, and I don't think he's calling the shots here, although I think he might be calling some of the shots. Tell me that you can't see that guy just being that guy, right? Just bare minimum guy. Just get away from me. I want nothing to do with you. Robert Saleh's probably playing that role too. So with all that, knowing all that, knowing that they want nothing to do with it, they don't want to partner with them, that they don't want, I don't want you here. But yet on August 8th, which is 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away, you and me and everybody else, we're watching Hard Knocks, aren't we?
Yes, we definitely are. And it's kind of interesting. Andrew Brandt, who was a president of the Packers for 10 years while Aaron Rodgers was there, he was on with Rome yesterday, talked about how they asked the Packers like 10 times, and he turned it down every time because he did find it to be a distraction What he basically said is the players are, creatures of habit, and throwing a camera really changes that, and that those habits that they build, they apparently, according to Andrew Brandt, it is very distracting. So hearing that Aaron Rodgers now wants nothing to do with it, he hasn't wanted anything to do with it his whole career, apparently.
Well, I could see. I mean, would you want? I don't want cameras watching me everywhere I go. Do you? I mean, the camera's on me right now. I'm working. That's part of what I do for these 3 hours. But do you want them in your meetings? Like the meeting we had yesterday. Does the camera need to be there?
No. That's...
People need to see. I get where they're coming from. I see both sides of this because I watch it. I love, like we all do. Let me, and you know this. People love access, right? People love whatever they don't normally get. They love access, whether it's behind the scenes in a football game, going in the locker room, or going on the field, or going in a pregame meeting, or whatever it is. People love access. They feel like they're getting a little bit more, right? That's why the VIP treatment is where, I don't care if it's a concert, a football game, at a restaurant. People love that little extra. And that's really what Hard Knocks became, right? A little extra. You had access. But is it intrusive? Hell, if I'm an NFL team, yeah, I think it's intrusive. It's got to be, dude. How can it not be intrusive when you're sitting in a meeting and you're going over strategy and who you're going to cut, and you're going over your depth chart, and you've got, I know I got to cut 15 dudes tomorrow, and how can that not be intrusive? How can that not be uncomfortable for whoever's doing it? It has to be, right?
Well, think about this. You've got a camera guy. You've got someone holding a microphone, boom mic. You probably have some kind of assistant that's
all those dudes in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they're sitting around listening to everything you're saying, all your plans, all your code words, all your stuff. And I could see that. You don't know who these guys are. How do you know they're not going around saying, "Hey, this is the code for run play or something"?
Right.
It's, I can see that. I really can.
But I'll go back to this. Over all the years of they've been doing Hard Knocks, how many teams got hurt by this? I'm not sure. I think anybody did. I go back to last year. I don't know, man. It feels like the Lions really benefited from it. So, all right. When we come back, John Sullivan's going to be with us. Sully is the former Lobo Football All-America, who is now the Associate Commissioner of the Mountain West Conference in charge of football. And then after that, Saquon Barkley says, I could say bleep you to the Giants. I could say bleep you to my teammates. Will he? We're going to do that before we get out of this hour. But John Sullivan next. We'll talk Mountain West Conference football with the former Lobo All-America who's heading up football for your league. Next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
An AM 610, the sports animal.
Check you out with the hot sports opinion on the text line. Comes in from Ryan. Assuming Tony Romo does the color gig with CBS for 15 years, he will make the Hall of Fame. All right, we can have that conversation later. Yeah, but is he better than Dak Prescott? It's opening drive. We are in Las Vegas, Mountain West Conference Media Day today and tomorrow. Jeff Symbieta, JJ, will be back with us on Monday, although he is here in Vegas. And I've been meaning to do this for a long time and catch up with actually one of my favorite people. UNM, I think, has had 3 consensus football All-America in the history of the program. Brian Urlacher, Terrence Mathis, and our next guest. John Sullivan was All-America in 2007 and has gone on to just a wonderful career that is continuing to grow in college athletics. He is the Associate Commissioner of the Mountain West Conference in charge of football. He left for a little while, went over and became the Deputy Commissioner of the Southland Conference, returned to the Mountain West earlier this year, and he is our guest this morning on the opening drive. I'm looking forward to seeing you in person later, my friend, but good morning. Sully, how you living?
I'm doing well, Jeff. Thanks for having me on. This is we've been meaning to do this for a while, so I'm excited to get a chance to be on with you and see you a little bit later today.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to seeing you. So for Lobo fan, and I guess for Mountain West fan, period, your job, you oversee football for this league. What when you tell people, like, let's just say, and I know you're married, so but you meet someone in a bar and they say, "What do you do?" How do you explain what you do?
You know, that's a good question. It depends on where you're at in the country, right? If you're on the West Coast or East Coast, it's a little bit different. But, you usually start, how do you enjoy college athletics? Do you watch college athletics? Do you watch college football? And once you say college football, majority of people say, oh, yeah, this is the team I follow or whoever. And then I say, well, I work for the Mountain West Conference, which is obviously one of the top FBS conferences and has a lot of solid programs. And so from that point, that really starts to turn into a conversation piece with everybody.
Yeah, and what you're doing with this league is you are overseeing football, and it's a big deal in such a pivotal time, John. And if I asked you what are the key issues, I think you'd go on and on. But to take over at this time, and I don't know, when's it been quiet in college football? I mean, I've been doing the bowl game for going on 18 years now. I don't remember a quiet time in this industry. Do you?
No, I really don't. It's funny you say that. We were just talking the other day with Commissioner Navarez and a few others, and I first came on board way back when as an intern in 2010. That's when real conference realignment started to happen with Utah and TCU leaving and BYU, and then it's from that point forward. Summer used to be kind of a nice time to get away, get some vacation, and now with all the new academic years and the deadlines and all that, it seems to be this is kind of the world we're living in. And not to mention coaches changes and staffing changes. It seems like there really isn't a slow time anymore. It's only progressively gotten, if you want to say a little bit more complicated or a little bit more opportunistic as well. With all the national and governance items that we have going on in our field.
He's former Lobo, John Sullivan, the Associate Commissioner of the Mountain West Conference in charge of football, and he's with us on the opening drive this morning. How do you ascend to this job? I know this is something, everybody's got a career path, and I think people are listening going, wow, that's really cool. Like, how did you ascend? You were a kicker, you were an All-America, you played football at UNM. Your career path has been pretty fascinating. I know it probably at times you just kind of go, wow, how did this happen? Like we all do in some respects.
Yeah, I think about it a lot. I think that senior year that I had, and part of it too is what college football teaches you, what being a student athlete teaches you. I didn't play for 4 years, and I got to play 1 year, so I was there for 5 and got to play 1. I was behind Kenny Bird, who was
phenomenal,
an unbelievable kicker, and Wes Unker, and you just weren't going to start over those guys, and then you finally get the opportunity, and I guess it teaches you a little bit of adversity, and overcoming adversity and patience and letting things just kind of play out and let it play out as it's supposed to. So, from that point forward and having that really spectacular year that I did on my senior year and having the chance to go to all those award shows and really seeing college athletics behind the scenes and meeting ADs and SIDs and a few other people, is kind of thought to myself, this might be a pretty good career path to go into. And, fortunate enough, you got to say, former Commissioner Craig Thompson, who was a commissioner of this league for 24 years. Part of it too is he remembered me at UNM and gave me my first shot as an intern at Mount West. And, I'll always never forget that. But really from that point forward, it just kind of became its own thing of working in a lot of the Olympic sports, always kind of having a handling of football. And then, just again, working hard, and that's kind of what being a student athlete in college football kind of teaches you too. So at that point, it just everything just kind of happened, and here we are. Somehow, some way, I got the job that I've always kind of wanted to do at the Mountain West Conference.
Yeah, and you make your own breaks too,
here.
Sully. Yeah, you know, I think we make our own breaks, Sully. John Sullivan is the Associate Commissioner of the Mountain West in charge of football, former Lobo All-America, and he's with us on the opening drive. I've told this story, but I want you to tell it a little bit because you really just led into it. When you talked about what football taught you and what it did for you and the ups and downs. You played 1 year and you become an All-America. That 1 year did not start well, and you and I have had this. We've talked about it. I sat with you and Coach Long and Danny Gonzalez, and Danny told the story on the show about the dollar bill, but it's way better coming from you. When you talk to Lobo fan about your year that started down in UTEP, and I know you hate talking about that game, but it leads into such a great season because that year started not well, and you almost weren't the kicker for UNM after one game.
Yeah. I get reminded of it every time I talk with Coach Long or Coach Gonzalez. We always kind of poke fun at it a little bit because that could have been a 10-win season for us had it not gone so terribly for me. But
well,
again,
you had a rough night
right?
in El Paso. Yeah,
that's right. That was a heck of a bus ride home, let me tell you.
I'll bet. And for those of you who don't remember, and I'll start it for you. The Lobos open the season in El Paso against UTEP, lose the game 10-6, if I'm not mistaken. And I think
right.
you missed two kicks in that game, correct?
Yep, 2.
The bus ride home. So I've told people this story. Coach Long, you were telling him on Monday you went to practice, and Coach Long said, "You're still my guy. Like I'm with you." And I remember you telling him the story, and he looked at you and said, "I said that to you after the game." You said, No. You said on Monday, you said, "You're damn right," because I was pissed, right?
That locker room after the game was no fun. Let's just put it that way. You know, that's part of it too. You sit for so long, you finally get your opportunity, and you blow it. And and then you think to yourself, well, was all this really worth it? And Coach Long will come up, will say to you, Rocky will say to you that on Monday, he came up and said, "Hey, you're still my guy." I don't necessarily know if he actually believed that. I know there's a lot of convincing from Coach Gonzalez on that one, and
right.
I think Coach Gonzalez was a little bit on the line on the line on that one too. But at least it gave me the confidence to go into game 2, and from that point, it was just it was a wonderful season. But it started out rough, and man, it was no fun for that first week.
You didn't miss another kick until the bowl game. Lobos and you win the New Mexico Bowl in 2007. You beat Colin Kaepernick in Nevada 23-0 in that game and go on to just a magical season. You've gone on to a tremendous career that's still growing. Hey, John Sullivan's with us just for a few more minutes, the Associate Commissioner of the Mountain West Conference in charge of football, the former Lobo great. What's the biggest issue for this league right now? The San Diego State issue seems to be settled, at least for the immediate. They are part of the league. That was announced. Or I don't know if it's even been announced. Maybe Gloria's going to announce that later today, but it feels like that is settled. So as you look at it from your perspective, you're in charge of the week-to-week stuff. What's your biggest issue going into the season?
That's a really good question. I think right now we've got to we have a lot of depth in this league. I think last year was a little bit it didn't go as well as we wanted, but I think this year we're going to be better from top to bottom. The biggest thing for us is really just being that top 6 conference, getting that AQ spot for that New Year's 6 bid, and just creating more depth. And that really just comes down to helping our institutions with resources, information at the national level, putting ourselves in governance groups to really make a difference with the NCAA. I think that's really what we're trying to do, but really just putting our schools, our coaches, our players, our student athletes in the best position to be successful, to get us into that top spot.
How do you I'll let you go on this. You're a Lobo, right? You're always going to be a Lobo. You're on the wall at their facility. Your picture's up there in the practice facility. You're one of the greatest that's ever played there. They're part of your league. Has there ever been a moment where you have had to separate being an alum from being an administrator? Because, I tell people all the time, I don't care where you went to school, you love your alma mater, right? You just, there's something special about it, but you've got to be an impartial, unbiased administrator. You're in charge of football. Has there ever been a moment where I know you've always been professional, but where you had to kind of check yourself and kind of say, I make sure that there's no perception of any impartiality?
Yes and no. That's a really good question. And I would answer it as UNM is so special to me and always will be. Coach G is one of the greatest people that I've ever come across. He was my coach. Obviously, we have a special connection. I wish him nothing but success. In non-conference, there's no bigger Lobo fan than me. And when they're playing New Mexico State, when they're playing, whoever, I'm as big a fan as there is. But when it comes to, conference games and just in our governance structure here at the conference, you have to be impartial. You have to be neutral. And, part of it too is, I'll say it too. If you're cashing a paycheck and doing a job, you're going to be impartial.
Yeah, no, that's right.
If that makes sense.
Well, I remember when Rocky was at San Diego State, right? I mean, there's not a bigger Lobo, right, than he played at New Mexico. He's the winningest coach in the history of the program. And he used to tell me, I hate playing New Mexico. I hate these games because, that's my alma mater. I love the place. But he's wearing San Diego State black and red, or scarlet and black, as they say, and he's getting paid by San Diego State. But he used to hate that. And it comes down to, you got a job to do. How the Lobos going to be?
They're going to improve. I think they're going to be much better. I'm interested to see how the offense evolves, and the new OC and the new transfer quarterback coming in. I feel really good about that. I think they'll be better. And start to make improvements.
Looking forward to seeing you. I think so too. I think the defense, to me, and I've said this on this show a number of times, I think the defense, I've watched this defense for 2.5 decades. I know the defense is good. And everybody tells me, well, they lost all these guys. Yeah, they did, but I've watched Rocky Long / Danny Gonzalez / Zach Arnett defenses for a lot of years. I think the defense will be good. The offense has to be better. It just has to be because statistically they were the worst in the country. They went and made moves, and to me, it wasn't even as much scheme as it was playmakers, and it feels like they went out and got athletes, and so I think they've got to be better. So yeah, I think better. We'll see how much better. They've got a schedule that gives them an opportunity, and I'm with you on Danny. I think he's doing it the right way, and I'm not supposed to root in these situations, but I'm with you on, I think he's just good people. And so rooting for him to improve this thing and turn it around. And it's, by the way, my job's way more fun when teams win than when they're not winning. So
I hear you. And you're right. Part of that too is being able to bring in positions, being able to bring in players to impact positions. And that's what the transfer portal has done across the entire landscape. But I'm following that transfer portal monthly just to check in and see where our players are going, where we're getting players from. It's fascinating, but we're able to, and our teams are able to bring in players that impact positions to be a little bit more competitive. And it goes both ways, obviously, but I think we're, as a league, as a conference, we're doing okay in the transfer portal. And, as you see by New Mexico bringing in a few players at some impact positions that they need.
No doubt. All right, I'll see you here in a little bit. Commissioner speaks here in 45 minutes, and looking forward to seeing you. Proud of you, John. Yep. You're doing great things, and I know a lot of Lobos are proud of you as well. Keep doing what you're doing, and I'm glad we finally got John here for a little bit. Thanks for spending some time with us.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it. I'll see you later today.
All right, be well. He is John Sullivan, the Associate Commissioner of the Mountain West Conference in charge of football, and a former Lobo, and dude that worked his backside off and is highly, highly, highly respected in the business and doing good things. All right, when we come back, Saquon says, I could say bleep you to the Giants and to my teammates. Will he? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sound of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Rose to the occasion. The world was in love with the armbar machine Ronda Rousey, who was dispatching contender after contender. The UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion was 12-0 and a heavy favorite heading into UFC 193 in Melbourne, Australia. The preacher's daughter, she was ready.
Beautiful. Beautiful. She's hot. She's hot. Holly looking to finish. Holly is the new UFC Bantamweight Champion of the world. Oh my God. Wow.
A second-round knockout for Holly Holm, who brought the gold back to Albuquerque. It wasn't the only upset brewing. The Global football team was
Only when
on
UNLV
the
is there.
blue turf at Boise State.
Dude, I don't
In their
have
last
an out.
100 games at home, the Broncos were 96-4. That Saturday night, the Broncos had 638 yards of total offense. The Lobos 0 for 10 on third down, and with all that, they're up by 7 with the game on the line.
Boise State still an opportunity. It's Austin Cottrell. Cottrell, look out inside the 10. He's going to be tackled inside the 5. And New Mexico, they hold and they win it 31-24.
The late Markel Bird with the game-winning tackle. UNM was just the 8th team since 1981 to win an NCAA game as a 30-point or more underdog. It was the Lobos' 6th win of the season, making them bowl eligible for the first time since 2007. That Monday morning on the opening drive, I don't know if I've ever heard so much positivity flowing from the phones. It was so much fun being here for you. Everyone said they knew Holly Holm would win. Sure you did. It's a reminder of what makes this so much fun and a night we will always remember in New Mexico.
15 years and 15 days is brought to you by All In Autographs, Albuquerque's premier sports memorabilia and collectible destination. The Duke City's home for sports.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
That's a yes.
This is 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
All right, the official preseason poll just came out for the Mountain West Conference football. Zero surprise. It's been that way. I've been doing this for a long time. I've never seen one that doesn't have Boise State on top. They got 28 first place votes. Air Force second, Fresno State, then San Diego State. San Jose State 5, Wyoming 6, Colorado State 7, Utah State 8. UNLV is 9th, and somebody voted them first place. They got one first place vote. I mean, maybe somebody knows something. I don't get it. Hawaii 10, Nevada 11. Lobos picked to finish last by a long. They got 60 points. The next was Nevada at 92. So I don't think there's a surprise. Boise State 28 first place votes out of 35, 6, 37. 37. So no surprise there. Your preseason first team all-conference, Christian Washington from New Mexico, one of only 2 sophomores to earn a slot on the 2023 All-Mountain West team. So there you go. Chevin Cordero, by the way, the former Hawaii quarterback, was at San Jose State, preseason offensive conference player of the year. and Wyoming's linebacker Easton Gibbs, preseason defensive player of the year. So that stuff all just came out here within the last half hour here in Vegas. All right, 505-246-0610. I told you about this. We're going to talk with Josh Sushan, talk some baseball here at 9 o'clock. Isotopes hit the air at 9:45. After Josh, you're going to hear from Danny Gonzalez, the Lobo football coach, and just a conversation with him about a lot of things as we get ready to start football season. So Saquon Barkley's upset. He didn't get his big deal. He's on the franchise tag if he plays. Saquon said, quote, I could say bleep you to the team. I could say bleep you to my teammates, but I'm not sure I want to do that. My leverage is I could say bleep you to the Giants. I could say bleep you to my teammates. I could be like, you want me to show my worth? You want me to show you how valuable I am to the team? I won't show up. I won't play it down. That's a play I could use, end quote. Will he? Le'Veon Bell did it. Didn't work out well for him. He's saying it's a bad idea. We're just going to have to watch and see what he does. He said, anyone who knows me knows that it's not something I want to do, but it is something that's crossed my mind. What would you do if you were Saquon? Josh is going to be with us next. Isotopes are in Sugarland. They are playing some ball now. Your Isotopes are, you get a new start, you get a new lease on life, and they're playing ball. We're going to talk with Josh Sushan from Sugarland next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
These days, business owners.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Check it out. What is it? It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own.
Now, voted voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
People tell you sometimes you just need a fresh start. Just reset. You do it on your video games all the time, don't you? You just, you hit reset. You don't like the way it started. Oh, reset. Let's start over. I don't even know what that means. Kind of, I do. I don't know. Fresh start. Get a fresh start. Maybe as you listen to Isotopes Baseball, as you will today here on These Sports Animals, starting at 9:45, you'll hear a little extra, I don't know, strut in the step or a little bit of juice in the voice of Josh Sushan. He's always really good. But man, it's more fun when you're winning. They reset this year in the Pacific Coast League. You had a first half champion, that was Oklahoma City, and then you get a reset. And the first half champion will play the second half champion for the championship. And as the second half has started, the team that was in last place, Albuquerque, is now 12-4, playing good baseball. And it's a lot more fun to broadcast a team when they're playing good baseball. Isotopes in Sugar Land today, 9:45. Josh will crack the microphone. 10:05 first pitch. The voice of the Isotopes is an Aztec. Josh Sushan joins us from Sugar Land. How you living?
Good morning. I'm living well, yes. It is more fun to broadcast the games. One of the players on the bus asked me yesterday, do you like it when we win more? And I laughed and I said, people think I'm much better at my job when I'm delivering good news as opposed to delivering bad news. So yes, it is absolutely more fun.
Dude, it's just easier, more fun when everybody's in a good mood. You know, I hear people, oh, the media, you guys just want people to lose. Look, man, I've done this for 15 years on this show. We've talked to coaches in football season every Monday and Tuesday. And JJ and I did this exercise a couple years ago. You know, we talked to the Lobo coach on Monday, the Aggie coach on Tuesday. You know how many times they both won the same weekend? In 15 years we've been doing this, the number was less than 5 that they both won in the same weekend. It's just more fun when you're winning, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, you know, and I think for all of us, part of our jobs as pros is, look, I feel like it's easy to do the job when you're winning, and as pros, it's, okay, how can you still be a professional and tell the story accurately without piling on when things are going poorly? And, you know, because there's this fine line between being positive and also not being this Pollyanna who's like, you know, head in the sand of what's happening. That's part of being a pro, but yeah, I mean, of course, it's way more fun. And, you know, in terms of like what's different for the Isotopes, the thing that's interesting, you mentioned just like the reset. It's not like it's a drastically different team. Now, the bullpen is definitely way different. There's 4 new guys from the bullpen, and 3 of them have thrown the ball extremely well. But it's not a drastically different team. The ERA is drastically different. It was 7.07 in the first half. The second half, it's 3.87. The biggest difference for me, guys, is that there has been a noticeable and pointed decision to run more often, to try to steal more bases. It started from the top of the organization. They had like these big meetings on Zoom from the major leagues all the way down to rookie ball. We need to run more. We need to be more athletic. We want to take chances. They let the guys know, we don't want you to get thrown out, but we're not going to be mad at you if you get thrown out. And I really do think that the mentality of running, stealing bases, taking the extra base, just attacking the other team has really changed just the feel of how they play. They stole 3 more bases yesterday. They've stolen 7 in the last 2 games. They've stolen 28 bases in the last 11 games. They nearly have more stolen bases in 3 weeks in the second half than they did the entire first 3 months of the season. And it's a wide variety of guys who are running. It's not like D. Gordon came back here or something and is stealing all these bases. And so I really do think that just the mentality of attack, especially early in the game, has really just changed the feel for the team. And then, of course, if the pitching's much better, that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, Josh Sushan is the voice of the Isotopes, and he's with us this morning on These Sports Animal. Was that a mentality, a mid-season change to start being more aggressive? Was it something that was, you said it came down from the big league level. Was that initially there to start the season and was just reinforced? Or was that a change of conversation? Like, why?
Yeah, it was a little bit of everything. You know, I was talking to our manager, Pedro Lopez, about this, and he said it's something that they wanted to do early in the season, and maybe because early in the season they had more home run hitters. You know, you had Nolan Jones, you had Michael Toglia, you had Alan Trejo at times. You had Brenton Doyle early in the season, and so maybe you don't want to run into outs when you have that many home run hitters. And they don't have as many home run hitters now, but there was definitely a concerted decision midway through the season to say we need to re-emphasize that we want to run, that we need to take advantage of the new rules. Bigger bases, you can only step over 2 times. I think there's this thing in baseball now where it's like everyone just looks at the stopwatch, right? You look at stolen base as a math equation. This is how fast you are. This is how fast the pitcher is. This is how fast the catcher is. And so if all of these things line up, then okay, you've got a chance to run. Whereas the Isotopes are not looking at it that way anymore. They're looking at it like, okay, the pitcher might be a 1.25 to the plate, but if he throws a curveball, well, now he's like a 1.4 or now he's a 1.5. Or instead of just relying on the stopwatch, get a good feel. If the pitcher shakes off the sign from the catcher, that doesn't mean that he's going to pitch out. It means that he's thinking about whether he's going to throw a curveball or a changeup or a slider. So if you see the pitcher shake off, that's probably a good time to go because he's probably not shaking to a fastball. He's probably shaking to something off speed.
Right.
So that's a good time to go. Well, because there's only 2 pickoff attempts per at-bat, once he throws over once, the odds of him burning both of his pitch outs on consecutive pitches is extremely rare. So if he throws over once, go on the next pitch because it's very doubtful that he's picking over. So it's just trying to be smarter base runners and try and take advantage of those little things.
That's so good. Josh Sushan's the voice of the Isotopes. They play at Sugar Land today. Day baseball, 9:45. He'll crack the mic with the pregame show and 10:05 first pitch. All right, I look at this turnaround. They're 12-4, and they had a series against Oklahoma City, who won the first half. Is this real, or is this? Are they on a streak? Is this sustainable the rest of the way? Is this something that maybe the fans who have been dying to fly a flag over this place for years, since the Isotopes have been the Isotopes, is this something that maybe they can get excited about?
Well, I don't know the answer to that because, as you know, Jeff, rosters change so often, right? And especially with the trading deadline in, 11 days. If the Rockies trade away a whole bunch of older guys and now a bunch of the guys from the Isotopes go up, well, maybe that changes our mojo. At the same time, maybe it changes the mojo because that means some of the best players from AA get sent to AAA, and that reinvigorates the team. Again, one of the other reasons why this team has been so good lately is because the bullpen's been outstanding. We got this guy named Michael Peterson. No one had ever heard of him before because he'd been out the last 3 years. He missed 1 year with COVID because everyone missed that year. He missed 2 years coming back from Tommy John surgery. Guy throws 100 miles an hour. The guy's barely pitched in 3 years. He comes out of the bullpen. I'd never heard of him. He's hitting 100 miles an hour, and he's throwing strikes. And he's just one of 4 new guys that we got, 3 of them from AA, 1 of them from the Blue Jays organization. And there's like this funky left-hander. It looks weird coming out. His name is Evan Justice. He's only pitched twice, but he's throwing 97 miles an hour. So you have these new guys that come up from AA, and I think there has been an emphasis with the Rockies because they keep telling us we want to win, we want to win. I think and I hope that as this season goes along, this Isotope season goes along, the Rockies look at anyone we've got that's good, let's send them to AAA to give them the tools that they need to win. At the same time, you just never know. So many things happen in this league that can change your roster so quickly. The Rockies' injuries decimated the Isotopes as much as it decimated the Rockies in the first half. Now they're starting to get a little bit more healthy, but we'll see. I just know that it's really fun right now, so let's keep enjoying it however long it lasts.
Keep enjoying it. They go this morning. All right, lastly, your alma mater, it got settled with the Mountain West. I kept telling people, look, man, every school, if they have the opportunity to go to the Pac-12, is going to go. San Diego State might have overplayed their hand, but when it was all said and done, they were going to be back in this league. You heard that last night. Anything surprising? How do you feel that San Diego State got let back into the Mountain West? They'll pay some legal fees, and it's business as usual.
Yeah, well, everyone did what they were supposed to do. The league did what it needed to do. The team, meaning the Aztecs, did what they were trying to do. This is far from over.
That's right.
The one thing that we do know with realignment is that the lawyers win. The lawyers always win the most because they're the ones who have to get involved in this. The Mountain West was smart to not just let the Aztecs do whatever they wanted. Also smart to let them back in. It's your marquee team, and all eyes now shift to the Pac-12. Are you ever going to get this media rights deal done? And when it is, what's your conference going to look like afterwards based on what those dollars are? I think that this is far from the final thing. It's just the latest thing, and Put it this way: as soon as the Pac-12 announces their media rights deal, whenever that is, then all of this is going to restart up again. So buckle up and don't take it personally. It's just business.
Man, I appreciate you spending some time with us. I always do. Have a great call today. He will have the call from Sugar Land, 9:45 pregame show, 10:05 first pitch. He is the voice of the Isotopes, the first place Isotopes. Josh Sushan, great call, my friend. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for spending time with us.
Thank you very much. One last thing. Yordan Alvarez is rehabbing for Sugar Land today, and so is Jose Urquidy. So quite a big league field to today's game.
Yeah, make sure you listen because you got some big leaguers in that one. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Be well.
All right, thanks.
See you. All right, that's good stuff. How about a couple big leaguers with Sugar Land today? All right, the rest of the way is a conversation that I had with Danny Gonzalez that you're going to hear. I'm going to run down. Commissioner Nevadas is speaking here in about 19 minutes, so I'm going to go down for that. And I'll be back here from Vegas live tomorrow. Josh is taking the air from Sugar Land at 9:45. So when we come back, a conversation with Lobo football coach Danny Gonzalez on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
Registration is now open.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future and get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones.
At the ACC, she's doing swimming for 2 hours and then golf and then tennis.
That's right.
She has the golf tournament coming up on July 19th.
Is she doing that junior PGA thing?
Yeah, they're at the ACC.
It's so
we actually going to, me and my wife get to watch her, and then we fly out that afternoon to get to Vegas for the media day. So
nice.
that'll be a big day.
I used to love junior PGA. I remember taking Addie flying back for a golf tournament when I took her to Taylor Swift years ago, and we flew back just in time to get her on the first tee.
It's awesome.
And,
it's fun to watch.
Yeah, it's and golf is so good for him. And how does the family react? Like they know your calendar now, right? They know Dad's around more May, June, July, August. He's starting to disappear, and then they click into mode. I mean, when you have young kids, how does the family react to being a football coach?
Oh, I think there's I've heard this going through my whole 26 years of coaching, that you've got to have a balance. I don't believe that. I don't believe there's a balance. I think you have to blend your family with what we do. They need to be around football. They need to be around the facility. They need to be around our players. They need to be around all the coaches. All the coaches' kids need to be around, because we spend so much time there. If you try and balance it, you can't. And that's not fair to your family. It's not fair to your football team. So
when people say balance, they mean be at home a little bit and be at the I mean, coaches are at the facility.
Right. So we blend it. We have our family there. And
the other coaches do too?
Always. I mean, like, all the kids are welcome. I try and tell our coaches, we're not babysitters, we're dads. And if your wife has something to do, an appointment or something, then send the kids here. We got plenty of things for them to do. And so we have kids around there all the time, it's the atmosphere I want.
How do the student athletes respond? I would assume pretty well, understanding that you all, and coaching is a young game, and I've learned this running a bowl game, right? I've had coaching staffs come in, and so many of them have young kids. You're there all the time. You're there all the time and embracing families. And then I know you had the whole team over to your house the other night for dinner, like embracing the student athletes with families. And every coach everywhere use the word family. We're family, right? That's like almost a coaching term now.
Right.
But to involve family with the football family, how do they respond to that?
I think, our kids, our football players, whether they want to be or not, they're role models. And our little kids on our staff, they look up to those guys. Yeah. They want to be those guys. They whether they're girls or boys. I mean, our two little girls think the world of all those guys, and they basically got, on top of the two brothers that they have at home, they've got 115 other ones that take care of them. We had a kickball tournament last Wednesday in the stadium, and Chloe is on one of the teams. They don't take no mercy. They were throwing the ball at her just as hard as they were them, and that's how I want it. I mean, I want them to they take care of her, but it's a competition, so they get after it. And so, I mean, she was yelling at one of the kids, "What are you doing?" I mean, it's fun. And you're right. The two words that you hear every coach say: family and culture. Yeah. We do try and make a family environment, because it's a very impressionable time of these kids' lives from 18 to 23. I mean, they're growing up. They're learning how to be young men. It's okay for them to see us be good husbands, good fathers, good role models. But at the end of the day, if we don't win, you're going to get fired, or I'm going to have to fire coaches, or those things. So you can preach all you want about family, but the reality is it's a business.
Well, we'll get there. I want to get into wins and losses, but the family thing is interesting to me in so many respects. And you're right? I mean, players are going to come, coaches are going to come and go, and it is what it is. Another thing that coaches tell me, as long as I've been doing this, and I appreciate it, because not every coach says this. We're here to not just win. We have to win. It's a business. We're here to develop young men.
Absolutely.
And I don't know where that comes from. I think every coach, when they ascend to that position, probably has their own way. But where did you learn? Because I'm going to guess the diversity in the way these 115 young men grew up runs the gamut, from an incredibly privileged childhood to whatever the opposite of incredibly privileged childhood is. And so to bring them all together and to expose them to whatever it is you're trying to expose them to and to show them, I got to believe it is not easy. But where did that become a priority for you? Is that somewhere along the way? Was it a coach that helped you realize that, or is that just who you are?
I think the people I've been surrounded by all have a similar philosophy, starting all the way back with, Vince Collins in high school was the head coach at Valley when I was there my senior year. Coach Fran, very much that way, in a different way. Very, very strict, very hard discipline, but you knew he cared about you. Coach Long, who probably got the most out of, not probably, I got the most out of through my 23 years of working together. He had 2 daughters that were my age. So he was we're going to help these young men. And that was where I learned you can't save everybody. I've tried numerous times and gone too far, but you can save the ones that want to be helped. My dad taught me from a very, very young age. If you want to yell at people, they're not going to listen to you. Just talk in a stern, calm voice, and they're going to be afraid to miss something. So I'm not much of a yeller. And we want to convince and show these kids that it doesn't matter what environment they came from. It doesn't matter what challenges they've faced. They're going to be the ones that decide how the rest of their life goes.
Global football coach Danny Gonzalez is in studio. How do you decide, and I'm not asking for a specific or a name, but there's been times where, all right, you want to help a young man, you want to save him, whatever the word is. The number one step in anything is identifying you need help, right? I got to change. And when a young man isn't willing to get there, where's the line? How do you get to that point? I'm sure it's probably still an evolving process for you. How do you say, I can't do anymore? I've done everything I can do. I can't. I got to walk away.
I think it's all based on individual cases, but the one thing that I'm big on, they can't lie to me. If they lie to me, I'm done. If there's no trust, it's over. If they continuously make mistakes and they're trying, then we'll continue to work with them. We'll get them the help they need. But if they refuse to help themselves, they just won't do it and they lie, then it's not hard for me anymore. They're done. And their teammates, the best part, their teammates are usually the ones that weed them out first. Coach, he is causing us problems. We need to move on. And that's how we do it.
One of my favorite parts of talking, and I've been very fortunate to talk to so many players and coaches throughout what I've been fortunate enough to do. One of the things I've learned is the honesty within the fraternity of people, and players to players, coaches to coaches, but coaches to players and back and forth. They're going to tell you about, you're recruiting a guy, you're going to find out about him. For the most part, you're going after a guy that you're thinking about being an offensive coordinator, or a guy that you're looking to bring in as a quarterback, and if you do your due diligence, it feels like 95% of the time, now that we're outside of COVID, now that you can talk to people again, that you're going to get a pretty good read on who the individual is, aren't you? Because people are going to be honest with you if you have relationships.
We do. It's very interesting as a coach, though, because you spend so much time trying to get to know these kids, and if you think they're a really, really good player and they're going to help your program, you'll probably blind yourself to some things that otherwise, because you're trying so hard, as the competitive nature.
Well, you just see the player. I need the player.
Yep. And then when we bring them on campus, our kids are our best recruiters. Our kids are if they come to me and they say, Coach, that guy's a moron. We don't want him. We're done. And sometimes a position coach will get frustrated because they've spent so much time recruiting this kid, building this relationship. And I'm like, guys, if our boys don't like him, we ain't taking him. That's
it's just not going to work.
Not going to work. A bad apple will ruin everything.
Well, the last thing you need in there, you've worked on 3 years building a culture, and I'll use that word. You now you got to win, but you've built a culture. You've got groundwork. You don't need, and that one bad apple, and you hear cancer spreads all the time. You hear that, what it could do to a locker room.
Yep, absolutely. And that was my biggest concern in the model that we've changed, taking so many transfers because of the transfer portal and moving away from high school kids in the class. We took 26 this year, and all of them but 3 have multiple years. Well, they're coming from places like TCU, Nebraska, Iowa, places that those kids might think they're better than us. And my concern was, okay, if we bring in a prima donna that thinks they are better than New Mexico,
we got a problem.
What's our kids going to do? And are we, over the 3 years, are the 75 kids that we still have there, are they strong enough with what we've demanded from workouts to everything else to continue to take those guys, either chase them out and not sway to what they want to do. And there was a few that I was really proud of our football team, because there was a few that tried to be that way. Our guys, they took control of the problem, and we're better for it because there were some really good players, but they got them to conform to the way we do things from the 3 years that we've built.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, that was the process. It was going to take 4 to 5 years to have a strong football team, get the roster right to what we wanted it. We had to adjust with the transfer portal, which we probably have a little bit more talent than we would have the other way. And so I'm excited about our football team's expectation and standard, because they held those guys and they made those guys do it our way, not change.
Danny Gonzalez is in studio. Global football opens up the season on the road against Texas A&M. We're going to talk about the schedule. We're going to talk about the roster. But there is excitement. And how do you turn that culture into turning this thing around, the wins and loss column? Danny's in studio. We're going to have that conversation. Why should you be excited about this team? Because I know the coaching staff is, and I know that the players are. He'll tell you why you should be excited about this team and how things are going to start to turn. He's next. He's in studio. Danny Gonzalez is with me on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Win tickets to All-American Rejects. All-American Rejects. Text Rejects to 505-246-0610 to get entered. All-American Rejects with Newfound Glory. Live at Isleta Amphitheater on October 8th, and you can go for free. Details are online now at sportsanimaladq.com.
It's the massive sales gargantuan blowout at Fiesta Subaru.
Why are you talking like that?
Because my voice sells lots of cars.
So you're telling me that me saying that Fiesta Subaru delivers dependable vehicles with some of the best safety ratings, a hassle-free buying experience, isn't as good as you saying it?
Yes!
See, what's with the sound effects and all that fluff? No, just stop. Folks, just come see us in person today at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or fiestasubaru.com.
Fiesta Subaru.
Okay, I'm done with you.
All personal injury law firms are not the same. We all claim to do the same things, but that's where the similarities between Lerner & Rowe and all other law firms end. Lerner & Rowe was recently named the second most influential law firm in the country, and we've collected billions of dollars for our injured clients, with over $1 billion in the last 5 years alone. If you want real results, call Lerner & Rowe today.
Lerner & Rowe can get you more. Call 544-4444.
Multi-state offices. Carlos Obri Espinosa is the managing attorney, 2711 Carlisle Boulevard, Northeast Albuquerque. Glenn Lerner is only licensed in Nevada.
Ryder works on top of the world, but his roofing business has hit new lows. Because when people search for roofer near me, Ryder's Roofing doesn't appear on the map, which means Ryder's Roofing is not on the map.
Cumulus Boost can help by managing Ryder's online listings, reviews, and dozens of other ways search engines determine which businesses get on the map. Cumulus Boost helps make sure Ryder gets the click. Visit cumulusboost.com to get on the map today. CUMULUS Boost.com. Cumulus Boost. Get on the map.
Greg is a real Prevagen user and paid
We would like to
testimonials.
thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke.
You've got better football players. You've got better athletes. And not just where they're coming from. When you say guys from TCU or from Iowa or whatever, yeah, I mean, they got recruited, but they're here now, so they're Lobos now. But it just, I told you this last year, I thought the biggest issue was you didn't have playmakers. Who were you getting the ball to make plays? Well, you got to keep your quarterback upright, And B, there's got to be guys who run away from people and make plays, and whether it's a guy with the ball, wherever it is, that's where you had to upgrade, I thought.
Significantly. I mean, it starts up front in football. If you don't have both on offense and defense and on the lines, if you don't have guys that can play, it doesn't matter how good your skill guys are. And we didn't have a combination of that on offense last year. We didn't have good enough skill guys. We relied on Luke Weissong to do everything, and Luke Weissong's a really good football player, but not by himself. And we haven't been able to keep quarterbacks healthy because we haven't been good enough up front to keep them. It's the drop back game that's killed our quarterbacks. It hadn't been running the football. Well, we've got 11 offensive linemen that we think can play. So we've got some depth there that we haven't had. We've got a couple, our two tackles, JC and DJ, I think are as good as any tackles in this league, which is exciting because we haven't had that in a long time. But we're bigger up front than we've been. I mean, we're 6'4" and 6'5" across the front, both first and second team, and those guys are all 305 to 320, and we don't have any fat guys. Issa is probably the biggest one, Shenko Matatuia, our right guard, who's 340 pounds. He probably needs to lose about 10 to be where we want him to be, but he's still able to move. And then Dylan Hopkins has been a really good addition to our football team, coming with Coach Vincent from UAB. One, he's won at a high level. He's won. I mean, they beat BYU when they were undefeated and lost to Coastal, and they beat them in the bowl game. That was with Dylan at quarterback. We've upgraded at wide receiver, and we've got DJ Washington, who I think is going to be really, really, really a special player. Caleb Medford from TCU. Deuce Jones has had a great offseason, who's been with us now for 3 years. Obviously, we have Luke Weissong. We have a young man by the name of Jeremiah Hickson, so those two in the slot, and then another young man named Ryan Davis, who came from UAB. Those three guys are all dynamic in the slot. And then I think we've had a good staple of running backs, and we added one in Andrew Henry. Christian Washington is back, and everybody saw what he could do on kickoff returns and when he touches the ball. And then Sherrod White, and then a name that everybody around here knows that I tried to recruit 3 years ago that went away to JC and came back, Dorian. I mean, he is going to be – he had a really good spring, and I'm excited about that room. And then we've got two freshman quarterbacks on top of the other transfers. So DC Taps got from Appalachian State, and then Aiden Armenta from here locally in town.
How's he looking?
He can spin it, 6'3". His leadership as a true freshman, with not only with his class but not being afraid to bark at older guys.
I'm just a fan of him as a young man. He's
great family.
I don't know the other quarterbacks personally. I know his family well, and watched him, and I'm a fan of the young man, and I know people are rooting so hard. And look, you're a local guy. You're not going to play him because he's a local guy, but the prospects of him being something good I think people would love that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Tony does a great job with our our tourism in the city of Albuquerque.
She's the president of Visit Albuquerque.
And they're a great family. Aiden wanted to stay home, which was awesome. He wanted to be a Lobo. So I'm excited to watch him develop over the next 4 years.
Danny Gonzalez is in studio with us, the Lobo football coach. Depth-wise, we've gotten down. I was talking to your dad a while back, and we were talking about the year Bryson Carroll had to come off, and he was on your coaching staff. I mean, you got down, a few years ago. You got to the point where you had to suit up a guy who was coaching to start at quarterback. It's a big part of what's up front. People don't realize it, and you made a point. These quarterbacks almost always have not gotten hurt running the football.
Correct.
It's been in the pocket. You got to protect the quarterback. When you say I got 11 linemen, okay, that's depth. You like your 11 linemen? Like depth is one thing, which I don't think you have in the past. You got to have good players there.
No, I really like the 11 that we play. I mean, the 11 that we have that we figured into that role are guys that we won't miss a beat if somebody has to come in and somebody has to come out. And that was a big focus from January till really now when kids are still getting here. We're still waiting on one to finish some academic work and get here in the next week to be one of those 11. So we've got 10 that are currently on campus and waiting for one more. That is
big,
so important. So important. If you don't have that, you have no chance.
I go back when you played and in those years and when Jason Lensmeyer was playing, the early Rocky teams that were good, and even Coach Fran's teams. It was the hitmen up front. It was there. You had a great tradition of offensive linemen at this school, and for the last few years, it hasn't. I know that's something that is really important for you to bring back because that was a sense of pride. I think that's why, in large respect, there was success when Rocky was here the first time.
When those guys have the loudest voice on your team, you've got a chance to be successful, and that's taken 3 years to build. And those guys, with what we brought in, on top of the ones that played last year, have done that.
Danny Gonzalez is in studio, Louisville football coach. Open up at Texas A&M, come home for Tennessee Tech, and then the Aggies go to UMass, and then open up Well, at least we're going to Laramie in September, and not
And it's
not
going to be at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
That sounds perfect.
It'll be great. Now it could be windy as all get out. You could get snow in September in Laramie. You never know.
Or you
but
can get 75 degrees.
That's exactly right.
First time I went to Laramie, 2006 or 7. I went up to as a bowl director to scout it. Beautiful day. It was mid-November. It was mid-50s. I had like a pullover on, and Debbie Long, Rocky's coach, said, "That's all you're wearing?" And I said, "Yeah, it's perfect." And that was the game. And I know you remember this game. There was that hour and a half lightning delay in the second quarter, and so you came back, you play, and you were losing the game. You played the second quarter, had like a 2-minute halftime, and came back and won. And by the time we're pulling out of Laramie, it was snowing sideways. And she kind of looked at me, she's like, "I told you."
I've had both. I've had great weather.
Yeah.
We played in
both in one trip.
We played in the 9 degree below zero in 2003. We played in the conference championship when I was at San Diego State in 2016. It was 30 degrees at kickoff.
Yeah. And you won.
An 8 o'clock kickoff. That's really smart.
The soft boys from San Diego were going up to Laramie in 0 degrees for
against Josh Allen.
Yeah, and you won.
We did.
Yeah, you won that game. All right, San Diego State's not on the schedule. Air Force is not on the schedule. This is the first year that the league, since going to divisions, and I think since the league started, is not going to play divisions. So you have no San Diego State, no Air Force. There's a number of teams that aren't on there, but those are two bowl teams, 2 10-win plus teams last year that are not on the schedule. You like the schedule?
I do. I like our schedule. I mean, in University Stadium, there's 7 games this fall, our 6 plus the New Mexico Bowl on the 17th of December.
Appreciate that.
And then we've got the 6 road games. I like our schedule. I like our football team. And we have a chance to be competitive, which is exciting.
You know, I look at it, and I'm not the guy who's going to go through and say you can win this game, you can't win that game. I mean, I know you think you're going to win every game, but I look at the games that are on the road. What can you do, right? You say, okay, I get your home games are San Jose State, Hawaii, and look, San Jose State's so much better than people want to give them credit for, and people need to understand that. They played in a bowl game last year. Hawaii, Timmy's trying to get that thing together. UNLV with a new coach, and then your last game of the year against a Utah State team that always plays well at the end. Blake had his team come back from the dead last year and get to a bowl game. And then on the road, I mean, your road games are tough now. You're going to go on the road in league. You go to Laramie, you go to Nevada, and then Fresno and Boise. It reverse order, Boise and Fresno. Nothing's easy in this league, and you and I were just talking about coaches. There's phenomenal coaches, and it feels like everybody has got some sort of sense of they like where they're going in this league.
Absolutely. We have the Mountain West Conference is a great league for all sports. We've been very successful outside of football in the Mountain West Conference over the last 5 years. I mean, we have the most championships in our league in all total sports combined. It's a great league on a national level, and I think Gloria, our new commissioner, has done a fantastic job in a short time. And she has the right idea. She wants the Mountain West Conference to be great. They're going through some branding stuff right now so that we have a logo. I don't think our coaches do a good enough job across the league of expressing how great our league is. And you know what? San Diego State, they intended to leave. They didn't leave, whatever. They're still part of the Mountain West. They were a charter member. It is what it is. I was there at San Diego State when we tried to leave to the Big East before the Big East collapsed, and then we came back. They flirted numerous times. They just can't seem to find a landing spot, so it is what it is.
I want to get into that in a second, and probably do that. Danny's going to be with us until 9:15. So at 9 o'clock, I want to talk about San Diego State and the composition of the league. I had dinner with the commissioner in Nashville, and she was talking about branding. I don't know where they're going. You might know, but I said, well, what is the league? And she says, well, we're this, and we're from San Diego to Laramie to New Mexico to Hawaii. We're all these things. And I said, what about we are you? Just like you. So if they go there, I don't think they are. She seemed like she liked it. We are you.
I like that.
You know, it's been, what is it, above the, at the peak. We are you. Like, just as a you as a university, because of the diversity of what it is. What do we got? About 2 minutes? I don't want to get in. All right. So when we come back, I want to get into where we are in college football and college athletics. I want your thoughts on what happens. I gave my thoughts earlier. I think what happens with San Diego State is there was a lot of noise, and it looks like it did before. I think essentially San Diego State's going to be in this league, and the league's going to look like it did. And, yep, there was a whole lot of noise, and they've got to come back a little embarrassed. But you were there. I want your thoughts when we come back. And then also how we start moving forward, right? In this era of trying to get our arms around NIL and people wanting the government to get involved and people saying, nope, leave us alone. So how we do that? Danny Gonzalez is in studio. The season's 59 days away. It's kind of cool, actually.
59 days, 9 hours, 31
Fall camp starts
minutes.
in 30 days from today.
Yeah, it makes me realize I got a lot of work to do. I got a lot more work to do. I'm working on the gifting.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no, I'm working on that. I think we got that wrapped up. Ticketing, we're doing new ticketing too.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm working.
All
too.
digital, or what are we doing?
Oh yeah, I mean it's all digital, but new dynamic ticketing and
Okay, there we go.
all kinds of different stuff.
I like it.
One more segment with Lobo football coach Danny Gonzalez next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out. What is it? It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future and get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing.
First place in the standings. Pitching continues to be the primary difference for the Topes. The staff has allowed 4 runs or less in 11 of their last 15 games. And over the past 7 games, the Topes have allowed 3 runs or less in 6 of those 7 games.
Mitch, there's a line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
The 0-2. Upstairs goes the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center.